We are back here at home at South Kitsap High School, where Port Orchard Football Club has just notched a 2-0 win over Nito Aguila Club America Seattle. And we're with head coach Patrick Leonard.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, what are your thoughts on today's match?
First one is happy, obviously. That's a really good team. This is the third year in a row we've had to cross paths with them during the CPL season, and they're a tough game every single time. We know that. For us to get a clean sheet is something I'm very, very happy with, just because I thought that speaks to how strong we were defensively and how the things we've been working on actually came to fruition today. But then to take the chances that we took, and I thought we were, there were moments they were very good, but I thought overall we deserved the win. So I was happy with the result.
Last week we got a lights-out performance from Austin Valdez, and we needed it to score a 1-1 draw. But this time, Nito didn't really test him nearly as much. He wasn't called upon. And some of that might have something to do with a guy named Calvin Moe, who was in the midfield stopping a lot of things. Tell us about how that side of things went.
I think, Calvin's always so good. Calvin's always a 7, 8, 9 out of 10. But, today he just stood out. I thought he was fantastic. Austin did what he had to do, and at the end of the day, he's the one keeping things as organized as they were to get a clean sheet. And he's so important to us. But the way Calvin broke up play in the midfield, and then the composure he had when he was on the ball and the things he could create, I thought it was as good of a performance as I've seen from him. And that's saying a lot given the standard he plays at week in, week out.
The performance might be all the more laudatory because of the fact that our starting center back, Hunter Milbrow, was out with a red card, so you had to do a lot of patchwork back there. So take us through, person by person, how we made up for the lack of Hunter and how that worked out.
Well, we'd been playing Caleb Gilbert at left wing back throughout the season, but we dropped him into the left side of that three. And then we had Sebastian Moran on the right side of it. And then we had Nick Strickland, who's played for me for years at CK, and I think he just has such an understanding of the things I need from him in moments, and he's just such a good communicator back there that we were able to start that way. And then we have a captain of this club, Colby Juarez, who's been out with an injury, just coming back, and this is his first game back in weeks, and he was able to kind of come in and play in that middle of that three as well, and his leadership and communication also helps things tick along. So as great as Hunter's been, I think everybody recognized it was, okay, we got to step up because it's a big absence, and everybody did so.
And we had I want to call him a guest player. In some ways, that's what the truth of it is. He's a guy that is from Germany who was trained with us before, trained last year, loved the club, and then came back to the Northwest this year and played in a different league for a while, but now was available to us this afternoon, talking about Joshi Shelb. And, we could whisper, but he scored both goals, so I think we got to get it out in the open that Joshi played for POFC and scored twice.
Well, and Calvin draws that penalty in the first half so well, but then for him to put it away and then for him to take the second one later on, and he had other chances as well, and the way he combined with others and his strength when we needed to break out and send the ball forward, the way he could hold up play for us. He's such a high-level player. To have him in any capacity. It was fun to have him in the friendly earlier this season. Our schedules haven't really worked out for him, and he was coming back from a trip today and was able to kind of make it in a last-minute way. So to be able to have him come contribute the way he did, obviously really important. And just a good guy, too, so it's really nice to have him around when he can be.
So we have 2 games left in our season. Next week, we have an away game that's actually going to take place at Bremerton High School, where we'll meet Nito again, and we know how meeting teams the second time goes. They're always ready.
Always.
And not that they weren't ready today, but even more so come next week.
And we know we know them. We know how they are. We know they're going to have a few more really high-level players added to that roster for the second go-around. That's not a team that people go and beat twice in a small window. So I know they'll be ready. We know that we obviously saw with the Washington Premier Legends how hard it is to go against somebody a second time. So we know what we're walking into. But we have about 10-ish days before that. So we'll be able to rest, recover, train, work on some things, knowing what we're walking into opposition-wise and really go for it.
Yeah, rare break in July, but that's just how it works out sometimes in this league. But certainly Port Orchard FC now 5-0 and 1
Yeah.
overall, and still undefeated, 5 wins and a draw. And is it 6 and no? It's 6-0-1 overall.
Yeah.
Sorry, but 5-0-1 in the CPL, and it's remaining on top of the Rainier division as we look to try to make sure we get a playoff spot later in the month.
Yeah.
So big day for us, Pat, and good job out there from the boys. And
I feel like I say it every time we talk after a game, but again, the fans being out in their numbers and the energy we were able to have in the moments where we scored and the crowd being excited, you know what I mean? That's what makes this so awesome. We heard their players talking about it beforehand. This is a destination that players in opposition teams look forward to coming to. So credit to everybody.
yeah, and shout out for the fans too, staying far behind after the final whistle and hanging with the guys.
Yeah.
Real family club community atmosphere out there on the pitch. Something that you can't buy with a $75,000 expansion fee. It has to happen naturally.
It's what it's all about.
And for so few clubs in the Northwest, it does happen, and we're fortunate to have our community supporting us like that.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Pat.
Thank you.